Hey everybody, I'm Creed and this is Inspiration. So to let you know what's going on with this show, I have other shows on the channel. They have a lot more to do with art than this one. This is about the inspiration behind art. Also, I've found a strange device that lets me hook my brain to a TV and the TV to my YouTube channel, so that's why you're seeing that whatever you see on the screen is what I'm thinking. That's how this works. And actually today, I'm going to not use the screen. I was going to disconnect, but I don't want to do that. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to regular video and regular video editing, which is going to be very hard because I'm super used to this automatic way of doing things. But I want to do a piece of art on this show instead of one of my other shows because I don't really have a Halloween show. So I'm going to do some Halloween stuff on here. Now, Thugs on Film is a Flash cartoon, part of Mondo mini shows, and they had a lot of excellent ones. Also, Heavy Metal Guys, excellent. I'm gonna link to the Thugs on Film below if you want to watch some. Not all of the episodes are even available online, which makes no sense to me, but they're basically two British crooks who do movie reviews. And the show is so good, and the personality and the characters on it are so awesome. I love these guys. I've been meaning to draw them for a long time. I never got the chance. And then when I was going to draw them, what I was thinking was it needed some kind of twist. So instead of just drawing just normal Thugs on Film, I wanted to dress them up for Halloween. And then it kind of came to me that I could dress them up as Greg and Wirt from Over the Garden Wall. And once I got that idea, that got me really excited. And that's why I come up with this piece right here. Now, I didn't show the process of doing the couch. It's my regular process: pencils, digital inks, digital colors. But I think having you guys watch me draw a couch it'd be kind of boring, so I skipped that part and I just popped the couch in there. And then it took me a couple of iterations of these drawings to actually get them dressed up as other characters, and it's really interesting. I think it's something I'm going to do more of. I also have another cool idea for a series that I think is going to be my next year Halloween thing, but I'll let you know that some other time. So yeah, this is my first that I can think of. I think this is my first mashup that I've ever done. So I've drawn Stubby and Cecil here from Thugs on Film, but I turned Stubby into Wirt and I turned Cecil into Greg from Over the Garden Wall. Now, Over the Garden Wall was on the Cartoon Network and it ran in November 2014. There's only 10 episodes, but actually now they've started up a comic book series that continues the show. But it has this really awesome, I've never seen a show with this kind of atmosphere to it. And it's really surreal. Every episode is just better and better. When it's over, you'll wish there was way more. You will. You need to watch it. You can find it at pretty much anywhere. Track it down. Over the Garden Wall. Watch it. And also, I'll mention it. I'm kind of giving something away here, but it's a Halloween show. So yeah, watch Over the Garden Wall. But yeah, so I dressed them up as the characters from Over the Garden Wall, and I think this came out really awesome. I like this idea a lot, and I probably will be doing more art like this. I'd like to welcome any new subscribers that have hopped on recently to this crazy ride I'm doing here. I hope you enjoy my stuff. And I find recently I'm starting to think of myself a little bit more of a YouTuber than just an artist that uses YouTube. And that's why some of my shows are starting to become a mix of art and not art. My Saturday morning's always going to be Creed Saturday Morning. It's going to be a piece of art. But like this one is meant to be sort of my vlog, and it's sort of turned into, I don't know, some of everything. And I don't mind that too much. The way I look at it, they always say when you start a channel, specialize on one thing. I could have started this as Creed's Cartoon Universe. Cartoons all the time, nothing but cartoons. That'll cause me creative trouble if I just put myself in one little pool. If it comes down to when if I can't work on something cartoony, I have other things I can switch to, and I always have other things I want to draw. So, and I think every artist is like that. I don't think anybody draws just one thing. Although I did for like 2 or 3 years, I only drew cartoon villains, but I had to switch it up after a while. What I mean is, and there's a lot of other channels that I hear this kind of thing. A lot of the YouTubers that are artists are making a comic, working on a comic. Okay, now to that guy or girl, that comic is the whole point, and this is just, and YouTube is just sort of an extra thing that's showing stuff about the comic. But from the point of view of the person that watches it, this is a show. The comic is just the subject of the show. So really, even though, like, okay, and I'm not trying to pick anybody out of a crowd or anything, but for example, Gazbot, and I love his stuff. But if Gazbot turned out that this last 100 days of comics he was doing turned out to be all a sham somehow, I don't know. Well, he showed his art, so it can't be. But let's say somehow it turned out that no, he hasn't really been working on a comic. That wouldn't super bother me, although I'd love to see anything Gazbot makes. But I like the show more. So if you just make a show and fake it all, and it's really good, or if you're making a comic, or if you're making a movie, or anything you're making, and you make a show about that, and it's really good, it's sort of the same thing to me. The main thing becomes the show about the subject, which is your art. And I think everybody that starts an art channel starts it like, well, this is about my art, and this is just sort of an extra way to spread my art around. And that's the way I started it. And it doesn't turn into that. If somebody starts watching all your videos, what they're looking forward to, and they may love your art, I'm not saying they don't, but a lot of them are probably, especially with daily video, because you get used to it. It's like, oh, you get up, okay, I gotta check, like, every day, every weekday, I check for the rundown from EP Daily. I like entertainment news. I don't really like world news, all that. So I watch the rundown every weekday. Lately, let's see, we got Mike Emmerich's Daily. Gazbot just ended, and it kills me. It's like when the season's over of your favorite show, and then you're like, oh, when's the next season? It is, and a lot of artists like myself, I'm not sitting there on camera looking in your face, mainly because I don't want to watch me sitting on camera looking at my face, so I don't expect you guys to. I just don't. I can put interesting things on the screen, so I just like to do it this way. You know, I'm not hiding any. You know what I look like? Ta-da! There I am. You know, I don't see the need for it, and I wouldn't want to see it. So, you know, it doesn't interest me any. So it's not like I'm shy or anything. If I was shy, I wouldn't be talking to dozens of people over the course of months with these videos. I think that's about my reach so far. Although I just had a video, my Snorts video, over 200 views now, and my Professor Pericles video is over 100. So the channel's actually growing a lot for a channel I started in February. Before that, I didn't do any video at all. But I am starting to look at it more like I'm a YouTuber, and my art is the subject of most of my videos. So, and I even see people talk about, well, these videos aren't about me, they're about my art, and that was my whole thing. But the more this goes on, the less it is really. Art is just my topic of most of my shows, and it will help my exposure. But what I'm doing here is an art form itself. It's YouTube. But I'll be honest, and I think a lot of other artists probably feel the same way, that if they could just have their art somehow talking about itself and not even appear on YouTube, they would probably do that. Like, for example, if I ever struck it rich, my next episode of whatever I put up would just have some hot spokesmodel talking about my art and what I do and etc. Talk about me in the third person. I wouldn't even appear. You'd never see or hear from me again. But you'd really like the hot girl I got announcing all my art, you know. And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just I think that way would be superior myself. If I could eliminate me from the equation somehow, I think that would do nothing but help. But I don't know. So I think it's interesting that this channel has started making me look at things a little differently. So I just find that interesting that I know a lot of people just want to show off their art, but you become a personality on your channel, and it's the only way to do it. But a lot of the how to do a YouTube channel always say, oh, they need to look at your face. Well, my channel's doing fine, and I think it's doing better than if my mug was on everything. And the only reason I do plaster that graphic of me everywhere is because I have to connect a brand to my name. And I know it's kind of weird to have a handle with a last name, but good luck trying to Google Creed and not find the band, every Rocky movie, and then the Fisherman's Creed, the Irishman's Creed, the etc. etc. So you might find me on page 48 of a Google search, which no one ever goes to. But if you Google Creed Stonegate, that's me, and you'll find me. So it's just for uniqueness. It's not. I'm not being a weirdo. It's just my handle. So I'm not trapped in some fantasy giving my handle a last name and thinking I'm him and whatever. No, I'm Creed, and I need that last name, like I said, for visibility. I know of at least one YouTuber who kind of heard my name and sort of gave an indication that it's ridiculous. Why not just use your name? Well, this is what I go by. This is how I sign my art for years. So nothing wrong with having a handle. So with that in mind, now I'm not too worried about if I want to put in, especially for Halloween. If I want to do Halloween stuff and I have a good horror game in mind, maybe I'll do a little short let's play on that. And all this stuff goes towards where my art comes from. I'm a video game addict. I have a lot of favorite games. They're all old school, all of them. And then there's a lot of great books I'm influenced by. Maybe I'll do a review of my stack of Dennis and Menace books, the original one-panel Hank Ketchum stuff. Fantastic stuff. And I mean, then there's Calvin and Hobbes, Fireside. I mean, and that's not even touching comics. All this stuff is related to where my creativity comes from, and that's the point of this show. So this is actually the first episode I've actually done art on the show, because it's just supposed to be my vlog. I think this came out awesome. I hope you're having a kick-ass Halloween season. So this is an episode of inspiration without most of the usual weirdness. All you're going to be hearing is the zapping. I heard Alice say a few things to me with this thing in my ear, but I'm just recording the audio into a microphone, and I'm using Photoshop and an editor, which is not my usual way of making this show. I might do another one of these if I come up with some more art. Well, I think this was a nice serene rest from the usual shenanigans that this device usually sucks me into. So I'm going to cut it short before anything really super weird. I don't want Rick and Morty to come blasting through a portal and try to kill me or something. Who knows what'll happen in this show. I hope you've enjoyed this piece of art. I think this is great. This is way better than the first idea I had, which is just to draw them regular. The Thugs on Film mashed up with Over the Garden Wall. I'm going to call this one Thugs Over the Garden Wall. I got more stuff coming up on my other shows. So until next time, take her easy.